Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. You may not be aware, but currently I am working on a no terraforming island, which is a first for me, and it's definitely something different. One of my lovely subscribers, Anne Berry, suggested about doing a video about fake buildings that don't require terraforming, and this is hard because most of the fake buildings that you see involve using cliffs and things to make sure that you get that height behind. So what we're going to do in today's video is try and make some fake buildings that don't have that, and hopefully this will inspire you to go ahead and build some on your island too, or if you're wanting to take a bigger step into decorating, this is definitely a great way to get into it as well. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first design I'm going to show you is one that I did on my vintage Kidcore island, but I'm going to show you how to build it using different kind of aesthetics. But this is how it looks on there. I used it as a florist, but I think this is super versatile and you can do it with a bunch of different things. Florist works well because we are going to be using the pergolas, which obviously have leaves or flowers on, but let's get into building it and you'll be able to see how easy this is to do. So you don't need lots of furniture here, but one of the things you are going to definitely need is the pergolas. Those are kind of the main center point for this. Depending on what kind of colors you decide to go with, you can definitely mix them up, use different colored ones. Just make sure that kind of the storefronts and the medicine cabinets or whatever it is that you decide to use kind of match the same sort of color. These are slightly different wood tones, but there's not a lot we can do about this. So I've used medicine cabinets, but really you just need anything that you're able to put items on top of. So maybe you want to use antique wardrobe, just something that you can add more layers onto it and just kind of hide the little gap between the pergola and the wardrobe or the cabinet, whatever it is that you're using. I've added storefronts on the side. The simple panels here are kind of optional. If you just like the look of the wood on the back, then that's totally up to you. I've added a storefront in the center and I'm gonna use a simple panel as a door. I'm not a big fan of the door design that I've chosen with it, just bear that in mind. It's more kind of Barney and the wood color kind of looks a bit off, but then I've added the stools in front and then I'm just going to decorate it. So it kind of is still like a shop, but you could make it feel more like a kind of garden shed kind of look, and that's what I was kind of going for here. So here is the finished product. I think I prefer the florist look, but this is definitely more fitting with what I've got going on my island, hence why it's here. But it's just a really nice, simple build. There's not much to it, and I think anyone can do this. And I think it looks really, really adorable once you have a good look at it, and I just think it works well. So for building number 2, this is using some castle walls. These are a great way to add height without terraforming. They're nice and tall, so that means that we can put lots of stuff in front of them. I've gone for the elaborate display cases here because then you can put stuff in them, and that again really adds some nice detail. In the center, I've used a stonework kitchen because I think it kind of works nicely with the color scheme that we're going for here, and then some simple panels just to hide the front of that. I love the little roof on the stonework kitchen. I think it's a really good item, and just to hide the display cases bottom, you just need to add something in there. Plant partitions work really well, wood fences, wood partitions, things like that. Even hedges, just the normal fence, works nicely. And then I went for a little kind of cafe feel here, but this could definitely work as a house because you could just add different things in the windows, you could add different furniture out the front. So it just really depends on what you're trying to build, and you can just edit the furniture around it. But I'm just giving you kind of like the basics, and then you can add in and change things to whatever suits you. So that's it. I just try to make sure the placement is right, and then here is what it looks like finished. I added in some more little kind of details, added in the trees just to kind of finish it off. You could use like storefronts on the ends, that would look nice, just something to kind of make it look more finished on the ends just definitely helps, I think, just to give it a bit more pizzazz. But there we go, that is number 2. I hope you like it. So next up, we're going to use some wide display stands. I haven't used these yet, but they are a fabulous item for using when it comes to making fake buildings, because you can also display things in the window. Sometimes they do have a bit more of like maybe a modern feel to them, which if you're trying to achieve a look. They're probably not the best for that, but you can definitely kind of hide them or mask them in certain ways. So I've used the antique wardrobes here and some stools. There's going to be a few different items that we're just going to mix up all together. The colors of them are a little bit off, but we'll just appreciate that that is the way Animal Crossing is built. But yes, this definitely has a bookshop vibe to it, but again, you can definitely adjust this to however you want it and kind of change up the colors to fit your theme or whatever you're working with. I'm definitely trying to use more short, simple panels nowadays as well, because there's no excuse to have like a double window moment now that we have short, simple panels. But yeah, as you can see, I've gone for like more of like a rustic, darker wood tone for this look. But yeah, adjust it, make it fit whatever you want. I then also decided to switch out some of the wardrobes, move them back a bit because there is that gap in between. So using things like the retro transportation stop or the storefront will hide that a little bit and make it easier to make it feel more like one cohesive building without gaps and sky poking in between. So that definitely helps. And then we're just going to add in some little details here on the end, some little trees. You don't have to do this. You can totally make this whatever you want. And then I did think about adding in like a sturdy paper bag just to add it in there in a sign, because why not? There we go. And this is what it looks like in the end. The wide display stands are a little bit taller, which could be a little bit annoying for you depending on what you like, but I think that having the items on the back on top of the wardrobe definitely helps kind of flatten out that kind of big adjustment in the different heights. But yeah, there we go. There is a cute little kind of stool idea. You could definitely adjust it to however you want it, maybe a bakery or another little shop, whatever kind of takes your fancy, but I think it's just a cute little design. The next one is something that is very small, but I think it looks really cute, and you can make like a little fake building village out of all of these if you put a few together, or it could work really nicely as like a garden shed design. Either way, it works wonderfully. So for this you need 4 storefronts, and then I've used the medicine cabinet again to add some more items on it. I just like doing this just to give some more detail, as I've said already, but this works really nicely. It's optional, you don't have to put items on there if you don't want to. Either way looks good. And then I've added in a curtain partition and a simple panel to work as our door, because then you can actually enter it. The curtain partition is kind of optional as well because you don't really need it, but I just thought it added some depth and it's a good way to get some color in if you wanted to. And here is what it looks like finished. As I say, I think it's quite kind of flat looking if you don't have the items on top, but it does work really nicely, and I would love to see a whole little village of these little bungalow type things. It kind of works as a beach shack maybe as well, just thinking about that now, but either way, really simple, really nice, easy to do. So for number 5, which is our final one, we're going to go from the smallest to probably the biggest. For these, I'm going to use the Azumaya gazebos. I don't know if I say that right, but either way, it sounds kind of right. And then we're also going to use some storefronts as well. I don't know. I mean, this color combination kind of works, the white and the kind of orangey yellowy color. I quite like it, and I'm using these simple panels again. I will try and remember to put all the codes for the simple panels and things that I've used. Instead of using a simple panel door this time, I have decided to use a storage shed because it kind of looks like a door. It's got a door on it anyway, so we're going to use that. And then don't forget to add your storefronts on the sides as well if you want to make it feel more finished. I'm just trying to give you some design ideas. You can do the storefronts all the way around, but just be mindful that that's actually going to take up quite a lot of space. And then just some details to make it feel a little bit more homely, like some plants out the front, some little street lights as well. It does kind of look like a home. I won't say it's like the most homeliest of homes, but it kind of represents that if you're going for more of like a rustic kind of thing. Again, this would be a great shed design, barn design perhaps, if you wanted to add in some kind of stalls with like horses on. That could look really good as well. But yeah, there we have it. It looks pretty cute. I feel like it would work great for a tropical island if you wanted to make some additions to it, like think about the plant choices and stuff. It would look really good on a tropical island, maybe a little bit tiki inspired bar style. Anyway, that is the build. I hope you like this one as well. I really think having a play around with these is a great way to get into kind of building into bigger kind of fake buildings and getting those right. So I've had a lot of fun doing this. I hope you've enjoyed watching them. Have a great rest of your day, and I shall see you again soon. If there is any other kind of build ideas you want to see, please let me know in the comment and I will try and give them a go and see what we can come up with. So goodbye.